want to watch me completely nerd out while also showing you my setup for what it's going to be like come the fall for school, stay tuned. All right, hello everyone and welcome to this week's video. So I'm going to be doing something a little bit different this week. As you guys know, I'm going to be starting school in the fall. And what you may not know is that this school is completely online. So what I'm going to be doing is taking you through some of the things that I've gotten over the last week. It's been a bit of an expensive week, but I honestly believe after getting this all set up that this is going to work pretty well. There's a couple of things that I haven't tried yet, so hopefully I don't eat those words in a little bit. Welcome to you guys might recognize this room. It's my workout room. It's still going to be continuing to be my workout room, but I'm going to move the bike into a different spot. I've actually got it outside right now. I think I'm going to have the one stand that I used to have for my Zumba workouts, because I'm going to be actually using that TV as a second monitor, because I need a second monitor and I really don't want to spend money on a second monitor if I have a monitor that might work. I haven't actually tried it yet, but I have a way that I'm going to try it. But you might notice I'm actually standing right now and I am at my desk. So one of the things I did was I grabbed a electronic standing desk off of Amazon. There's a couple different reasons for this actually. Number one reason is I am going to be on online classes for about 7.5 hours a day, and I don't know if I can sit that long because I'm used to standing for 8 hours a day. That being said, it is nice to be able to kind of do a little bit of both. This idea came to me actually because I watch a couple streamers that are used to doing 7+ hour streams on YouTube because I'm a giant weather nerd and I like watching live weather coverage. And one of the things that I noticed is that he had a desk where he could sit and stand, and it helps him be able to be at the workstation more comfortably for longer periods of time. And so I'm just like, hey, I wonder how much that would be, because that would be a really good investment. I'm going to just lower the desk right now. So right now I am sitting. So let's lower this, because I need to find the right height so that I can put this into the memory. So I think I kind of found it right here. I'll probably have to play around a little bit with the zoom and stuff once I actually have a Zoom meet to fully program it, but I'm going to set this as that one. So on this keypad, as you can see, there's up, down, 1, 2, 3. So these are memory buttons. So right now, let's say that I wanted to stand up, but I didn't want to have to adjust it again. I've already actually set this for what I want it to be. So let's stand up. So just like that, I am back to standing. A second major reason why I decided to go with the standing desk is because when I'm counting pills, I have never ever tried to do this sitting down. I don't know if I maybe could, but I have the muscle memory from standing up. So let's do this together. These would be a joy to count. This reminds me of actually a hydroxyzine in the prescriptions. And I count 18. So that's another reason why I decided that I wanted to go with a standing desk, because I really didn't think I would be able to do that very easily sitting down. For fun, let's actually put it down and see if I could do it. Another reason that I also don't want to do this sitting down is because I don't want to get used to sitting down while I'm counting pills. So let's say I was to end up liking this. This feels really weird actually. I don't know if I could. So let's see what happens when I count sitting down. I imagine I'm probably going to be able to do this no problem, but and I get 18 again. Just like that. Also, fun fact, some of my least favorite pills to count are hydroxyzine and progesterone because they like move everywhere. Another one that sucks is dutasteride. It's hard to count, but it's also one that you gotta be really careful with because it's a toxic one. With a counting tray, you get this stick because you shouldn't have to touch the pills. When it comes to touching pills, you're basically doing it if you're splitting it or you're actually building up a compliance package. So like if you've ever seen those ones with the bubbles in them, those are the compliance packets. So the counting tray isn't something that's new because I just had to get that for school. The next thing that I want to talk about here is just over here. So it's computer and the laptop stand are both new this week. I wanted a laptop stand for a couple of different reasons. Number one, it lifts it up so that on the webcam, which I haven't actually tried the webcam yet, it's kind of set to more look down at you, so it's a better angle to be working with. And then the other reason, I can put the keyboard at an angle and it's a little bit more comfortable to work with. I probably will have this ending up a little bit closer than what it is right now, but that's the plan anyways. I have been using this laptop stand constantly because it's nice. Like I'll be taking this up and down. I'll be using it for personal use as well because it's really nice to have that angle when you're editing too. It helps with the ergonomics. Let's talk about the laptop because you're like, I thought you had a really nice laptop, and I do. So I use the MacBook Pro with the M1 chip. It's, I think, about 4 years old now, but I had to get a Windows laptop. One of our systems, or I guess software that we need to be able to learn on is called Kroll, and it's not compatible with the Mac operating system. So I had to go for a brand new laptop. I spent hours looking into this and I ended up going with the Asus ZenBook. The fact that it has the word Zen in it is not intentional, but I found it kind of funny actually. All right, so I went with this laptop for a few different reasons. You might actually be able to see my reflection there in the black screen. One of the big reasons is an OLED, which is very, very similar to the MacBook Pro. I believe the MacBook Pro has the OLED on it too. It looks pretty much the same. Another reason why I like this, it has the fingerprint scanner on it. But another reason, and I wasn't sure I was actually going to get this in the end because some of the newer versions of this don't actually have this feature on it. But there is a numpad on here. And it does work-ish. So I don't know if I'll end up using it or not, but I am used to being on Kroll and having a numpad. We'll see if I end up purchasing a separate one separately. So there are a couple things still that I do actually have to hook up yet. And that is the second monitor. And I want to actually see if I can get this set up now because it would be really nice if I could determine whether this is going to work, because otherwise I'm going to need to purchase a second monitor. If I was to do anything, it would be like grab a desktop monitor, basically like what you would use on a Windows computer, but it would be like a desktop version. That's all I would do. I mean, we'll see. I'll see if I can get this to work in the next few minutes here. If I do, I will show you. I figured this out. So there's the second monitor and it's working. I figured out exactly how to do it. I had found a video actually a little while ago on how to extend displays and use a second monitor, but I'm just like, I won't know actually how to do this until I get a chance to do this. So here's my laptop screen, which is now completely freed out from the screen over here. And then it is a little bit more grainy over here, but I think it's at 720p, which is what is recommended, so that's fine. So over here, I have this pulled up, which is just their schedule. And then this is one of the PowerPoints. That is really cool, I must admit. And it was exactly the same as actually on Chrome on how to pull out the tabs. So again, similar gestures, I love it. My computer is having no trouble with it. We'll see when I actually get Zoom on there, but going at the same time. But that's it. That's great. That's really cool that you can look at two different screens at the same time. I'm kind of nerding out right now. I've never done this before. I know that there are a lot of people who edit videos actually who will use a second monitor to play it back on because it's a bigger screen and you can like tell different issues you might have. But it's really also another thing that's really cool here. So I got my mouse here and then I can move over here and like work over here. That is so cool. I'm completely nerding out. It's gonna work, so that's great. I'm not gonna need a second monitor. And I was able to figure it out. And this is kind of the stuff I'll probably like pull up and all of that as part of my prep work for each class. So this is great though, to have two separate things open on two different screens, be able to follow along and not have trouble. That's great. And you can pull it to wherever you need it to be. So that's even better. All right, now that I figured this out, back to the main video. I guess I didn't say what exactly the laptop I have here. So I did mention it was the Asus ZenBook. And so it's the Intel i7 Evo, which the Evo is just, I had to look this up on YouTube what it meant. And I guess Intel has a new program where they've actually like kind of set minimum standards that a laptop has to meet for like battery life and like what it can do and all of that. While I was using this computer, actually I was watching some videos this morning and just kind of playing around with YouTube and some different things and installing Zoom. And one of the things that I really liked is that pretty much all of the gestures are the same from what I'm used to. So I can actually scroll with two fingers on the computer. As somebody who's been using a MacBook for like 10 years now, it's really nice to have something that's very similar in a way, but yet has what I need. I won't be getting rid of my MacBook Pro because number one, it's still working. Like it works just fine. The battery is probably gone in it at this point, but like if you were to have them replace battery, it would probably be a new computer. It's really good. And another thing is I do my editing exclusively on the Final Cut Pro. So I had paid for that software. It was not cheap. And so I will be using my MacBook for my personal use and then be using this computer mainly probably. The only complaint I have about this computer is the fan noise is a little loud. So I'm used to this MacBook Pro. I think I've only ever heard it make a sound once. I had a lot of tabs open and I was exporting a video at the same time. It's the only time I've ever heard the fan turn on. I love the MacBook Pro. I would have stuck with it through school if our system had been compatible. I was actually really annoyed. I'm just like, dang you, Kroll. Because I use Kroll actually with my job. That's the software that we use. And I've been just glaring at it this whole last week because it was like, this laptop is probably, I would say, mid-range. So like I spend a decent amount of money on my MacBook Pro. Like I think 4 or 5 years ago, it was like mid to like 2,500. I can't even remember. It was a lot. And like this one was probably half it. So I was a little bit grumpy about having to spend that money. But the nice thing is I don't actually have any textbooks for this year. So I can actually get away with getting some more extra stuff and it not being a problem. So that's kind of nice, honestly. Another reason why I like this desk actually, it's got a hook on it. Please ignore the dirty floor. I haven't actually cleaned really all that much yet in here. The other thing that I bought is a headset and microphone. I wore this for a Zoom call last weekend and I didn't like it as much as my AirPods. However, I don't know how easy it would be to hook up the AirPods. And I don't know how it would sound because this isn't a like Apple thing. Like none of this stuff is Apple. So I don't know how it would sound. I haven't actually used my ring light, but I do have it in here just so that if I do feel like I need the extra lighting, I'm probably going to test it with this video. I will have that and it'll be more for my screen than anything. And I don't really know how important that is. It's not like I'm the one who's actually presenting. I'm just having to be there with my camera on. And it's more of a personal, I get really picky about the way my setup looks. So, and you get that from being on YouTube and making YouTube videos. So although I've never done some of this stuff before, a lot of this is just Googling and YouTube, like how I've learned how to actually do my video editing. So I knew nothing about video editing before starting my YouTube channel, and everything I've learned as I've went. And it's been basically just me Googling things when I don't understand how to do something. I love this already, that I can like sit and stand, and this is gonna be great. I don't know, so I do have an office chair here. I'm not gonna show it, it's awfully dirty because it's been like not dusted lately. I don't know if I'm gonna end up sticking with it. It might work, honestly, if I'm able to sit and stand enough, like if I'm able to stand up enough. But we'll see how that goes. I'll have to work it out when I'm actually on a Zoom call. I will share if I get any more stuff. The only other thing I might need is a dock, Thunderbolt dock. If I decide that I don't like the numpad, or if I need any more extra ports, I'm probably going to need that dock. But I'm hoping that as of right now, like this computer is loaded with docks, like loaded with ports. That's another reason why I liked it. That's it for this one. If you guys are interested in following along on my journey as I go through this training for school, you feel free to subscribe. There's not going to be much related to that now until probably August or so. So I start school end of August. It'll be here before we know it. It's already the end of June. So this next couple of months, it goes fast anyways. But because it's summer and temperatures are nice, it seems like it goes that much faster. That being said, with this whole awakening stuff, my concept of time really doesn't change anymore because it isn't really a thing and I can't really talk about it. Time is kind of gone for me. It's like people actually ask me right now, oh, you must be so excited and looking forward to school. And to kind of sound normal, I'm just like, well, yeah, I am. I mean, I have a countdown on my phone. But like in terms of how I actually feel about, you know, all of it, I don't really know how to answer that because I'm just like, well, it's not right now, so it's later, but what does later really mean? Like, so it's hard to explain that. Thanks for joining me. I look forward to sharing this journey as much as I look forward to going through it, which I have to admit, I'm excited and, you know, there's always some nerves, but I'm sure once I get this whole kind of situation figured out and get adjusted to what this is going to actually be, I'm pretty sure that this is going to be, like, I'm going to feel a lot more comfortable. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye, everyone.